Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to talk about which campaign bid strategy you should be using with your Facebook ads, with your Facebook ad campaigns. It's something I'd asked about quite a lot. They put their campaigns together, they get to the campaign level, turn CBO on, and they go, what is this campaign bid strategy? What should I select here? So I'm going to explain the options and tell you which one I think you should be using in a sec. Before I do that, I just want to quickly let you know that at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about a free Facebook advertising resource that I think you're going to find really interesting, all about Facebook advertising strategy and how to make sure you are using the right strategy for your products and services. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that. With that said, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm in a demonstration Facebook ad account right now. I've created all these sort of demonstration campaigns previously on when I'm recording these videos and stuff like that. Don't worry about all this stuff. What I'm gonna do is just go into one of these campaigns, this personal trainer campaign in here. I'm gonna scroll down to campaign bid strategy. As you can see, I've got campaign budget optimization turned on, which is what I would recommend the vast majority of people do. People usually just set their budget, etc., etc. They get to this campaign bid strategy and they can get a little bit lost. So it's important to talk through the options. So let's bring up the list. We've got lowest cost, we've got cost cap, and then we've got two other options in here with bid cap and target cost. So I'll go through the options and explain which one I think you should be using. Let's start at the sort of bottom and work our way up. We've got target cost in here. Now, target cost, the idea behind target cost, why Facebook introduced it, was to help you generate a more consistent cost per conversion than you would typically with, let's say, lowest cost, which is Facebook's default. Okay, so instead of seeing fantastic results for the first few days and then results drop off or results get better and go up and down in that sort of roller coaster effect that a lot of Facebook advertisers are very familiar with, target cost was designed to be like, look, we're just going to take out the peaks and troughs and try and give you a steady, even cost per conversion and have things operate that way. It sounds good in theory. What tends to happen in reality when you select target cost is you just end up paying more. You pay more at the beginning. Yes, there may be times where with one of the other one of the bid strategies, you see spikes above what your target cost would be, but they're usually very small, very temporary. When we've tested target cost alongside lowest cost, we've generated better results with lowest cost. We just end up paying more per conversion, which is obviously not what you want. So I wouldn't recommend using target cost. I've created another video about that. I'll make sure I put that in the video description. But yeah, that's something I would just say off the bat is that's what target cost is intended for. At the moment, I'm not a big fan. Facebook may make adjustments to it in the future, but for the time being, I'm going to leave it off. Then we get into the two sort of Facebook calls them bid strategies. They used to be referred to as cost controls. They change the user interface and the terminology all the time to try and make it more simpler for people. But these two are similar. This bid cap here and this cost cap are quite similar. I'll explain how they work. So target cost is, as I said, designed to get you a consistent cost per conversion. Bid cap and cost cap aren't structured in the same way. They are designed to stop you spending money on Facebook if your cost per conversion reaches or looks like it is going to reach a figure that is above an acceptable amount that you set. Okay, so that's what a cost control does. It stops you spending, I've actually selected bid cap there. It stops you spending too much money on your Facebook ads when they're not profitable. So let's say, for example, I've got an e-commerce company and I'm willing to pay $25 to acquire a new customer. That's my absolute maximum. I could set a bid cap at $25. I would recommend you actually set a bid cap quite a bit higher than that because Facebook seems to throttle reach on a campaign if you get anywhere close. I've got other videos talking about that, so I'll include a link to the video description. That's not what this one's about. But that's what a bid cap is designed to do. Well, that's what a bid cap and a cost cap is designed to do. They're designed to do that. The reason why they're different is depending on whether the throttling of reach and ad spend occurs before it's happened or after. I know this is really confusing. I'm going to try and explain. Let's say, for example, you set a bid cap of $25. If Facebook thinks it cannot get you conversions for over $25, it won't show your ads, it won't spend your money, you'll end up saving money. Okay, that's what a bid cap will do. If Facebook thinks it can't get you conversions for more than $25, and they obviously use all sorts of data points to sort of make that prediction, including how the campaigns performed previously, etc., etc. Cost cap waits until after the fact. So Facebook won't make a prediction and go, we don't think you're going to get conversions for less than $25, therefore we won't spend your money. They'll spend your money and then react. So let's say your average cost per conversion is $30, it goes above the $25 mark, then they will start to bring down your reach and spend less in your campaign than what you've set. That's how it works. So that's why they say a cost cap, control your costs while getting the most volume, is you're going to get more volume because it's happening after the fact. So you are going to spend that extra, let's say a few days worth of ad spend before things start to get pared back if your cost per conversion is above an acceptable amount. Whereas bid cap is going to try and predict it, going to try and do it in advance. Okay. So in general, I don't often use either cost caps or bid caps. If you are going to set a bid cap, I'd recommend you do so significantly above what your actual acceptable target cost per conversion is. So let's say you're generating conversions for $30. Don't set a $30 bid cap, otherwise your campaign's basically unlikely to run. You want to set a $50 or a $60 bid cap, because that prediction that Facebook makes when it comes to trying to work out if you are going to spend more than your target cost per conversion and paring that back isn't very accurate, isn't very good. I prefer cost caps out of the bid caps because it takes that predictive element out of it. Again, if you're going to have a cost cap, I would not recommend having it at what you're paying cost per conversion. I'd recommend having it a little bit over. The times when cost caps can be useful is when you want to take out particularly expensive times in your advertising. So if you just want to leave your Facebook ad campaign running, you're not going to be monitoring it and making adjustments yourself. You may be aware that if you're a service-based business, the last 2 weeks of December are just a write-off. Your cost per lead is going to be enormous. No one's looking to hire an accountant, let's say, on December the 20th or December the 30th. Everyone's got their mind on other things. So maybe you want to put cost caps in that will then prevent you from spending money during those most expensive times. It's designed to take out the peak. So if you want to leave a campaign running without much monitoring and you want to make sure that you don't spend your full budget when things are getting very expensive, as I said, holidays is a big one. There's a lot of seasonality around certain businesses. I mean, certain businesses are tied to the weather. So, if the weather's terrible, you might not sell swim shorts very well or sunglasses. Therefore, you don't want to advertise them as much. And the cost cap will make sure you don't spend whilst your conversion costs are really high. Okay, so that's when you'd want to use that. Lowest cost is the default. And it's basically the one I would recommend people use almost exclusively, use all the time. As you get to see, the description that Facebook gives is get the most results for your budget. Who doesn't want that? I want the most results for my budget. I'm sure you want the most results for your budget. No matter what I'm spending, I want the most purchases, the most leads, etc. for that budget. Now, what that may mean is that you might launch a Facebook ad campaign and your conversion costs, once you've gone through the learning phase, of course, conversion costs are really, really good. And then they start to climb. They start to get more expensive. There are things you can do to adjust that. You can create new ad creative, avoid ad fatigue, all that sort of stuff. Check out my other videos on my channel where I've talked about those sorts of things to help with that. But that's something that you might see. But that still doesn't mean that lowest cost isn't the right move. I think in the vast majority of the time it is. As I said, we've tested this against the other options. We've tested this extensively against target cost, and lowest cost is the one I go for. You may see here that if you're running an e-commerce business, something like that, this says highest value or lowest cost. Again, effective, not the same thing, but for the purposes of selecting the right option here, it is the same. That's the one you want to go ahead and use. Facebook can basically just use the value of your customers into their delivery system. And if you select lowest cost, as I've done there, then that's what Facebook's going to try and get you. They're going to try and get you conversions for the lowest cost possible, as many results as possible within your budget, which is absolutely what you want to go ahead and do. Okay, so that's what you need to know about campaign bid strategies. It's actually really straightforward. Now, something that's not as straightforward is your Facebook advertising strategy, the sales funnel that you're using to advertise your products and services. And I said at the beginning of the video, I was going to talk about a free resource, and this resource is a free webinar. It's called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And in that webinar, I go through what you'd expect. I go through strategies that we use as a Facebook ads agency. We generate millions of dollars every year for our clients. In fact, sometimes on a monthly basis using these strategies, if our clients are spending enough on Facebook ads. They're tried and tested, proven, they work really well. And not only do I demonstrate these strategies in a lot of details, I show you the exact sales funnels that we're using, I also explain which one you want to use or which two you want to use out of the three, depending on your products and services. And that's really important. You cannot advertise a $20 product in the same way that you advertise a $10,000 service. Doesn't work. You need to tailor your approach. So I think if you're not generating outstanding, blow up your business results with Facebook advertising already, or even if you are, I strongly recommend you check out this webinar. I think you're going to find it really valuable. Completely free. Link will be in the video description down below. Go ahead and register for that. Watch that. Go through the entire thing. I think you're going to get a ton of value out of it. Thousands of people have watched it already, and the feedback has been awesome. Another thing I want to quickly mention is my Facebook Ads Mastermind group, which is my free private Facebook advertising group. It's currently got 26,000 plus members, an amazing online community full of Facebook advertisers. There's hundreds of questions asked and answered by experts in that group every single day. As I said, it's completely free to join. A link will be in the video description. Go ahead and get involved. We'd love to have you. And I think you get a lot of value out of it. I know tens of thousands of people have already by being a member. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. Please comment below to let me know if you really liked it, if there's anything you want me to, any recommendations you'd make, other content you want me to cover. If you've got any questions about any of this, pop them in the comments below. I get to all my YouTube comments, so I will answer your questions. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the little bell notification so that you are notified when I release a new Facebook advertising related video. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.